Friends, my name is Bok Shubho and I am again on another new kind of chat because we all know the kind of situation we are going through. Lockdown
Shubho,
চলছে
your voice is not.
Am I audible?
Oh God.
Hello, am I audible?
You're audible, but you're cracking at times.
Okay.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, yes. You're proper.
Yeah, then. Yeah, now I can hear you, but your volume is very low.
Okay, okay, okay. Just a second. Onir, can you hear me right now properly?
Now I can't hear at all.
Okay, okay, okay. Now my voice is clear now.
Ha, I couldn't hear.
Okay. So, good evening, friends. As I said, everyone like কি টক বক শুভ আড্ডা যেভাবে চালিয়ে চলেছে, so that will continue. But today's chat is special for many reasons. First and foremost, for the first time, I am doing a virtual chat. So I would really appreciate the way you love and the support you always given to me. That should be continued because this is my first virtual adda, and I have to do this because keeping the current scenario in mind. And on my first adda, I got the opportunity to have a chat with none other than nation's favorite and my very favorite filmmaker and a lovely personality and a human being, Onir. So,
Hi,
Onir,
thank you.
Onir, welcome to my Talk Bok Shubho chat. So, how are you and how everything is going on?
Well, I'm as good as everyone else. Fatigue of being inside the house. I'm a very outdoor person, so kind of tired. ঘরে বসে বসে আর ভাল লাগছে না. But having said that, I shouldn't complain because people are facing much more, difficulties. My only thing is being at home because 3 সপ্তাহ আগে I was shooting and I was supposed to be shooting right now, which like I'm sure a lot of us had to cancel. And I'm hoping that things become better next month because you know what started off last year. প্রথম আমরা সবাই ভাবলাম 3 months, then we thought 6 months, then we thought 1 year, and now this is the second year, and it's very frustrating after a point.
Absolutely, Onir. And keeping that thing in mind, I just want to start my conversation with you for first question. That question is, Onir, আমরা অ্যাকচুয়ালি কেউই বুঝতে পারিনি যে this corona will dance on our head in that way. Like last year was pretty shocking for us, but this year just মানে আমাদের প্রত্যেকের রাতে ঘুম কেড়ে নিয়েছে, এরকম একটা জায়গাতে আমরা পৌঁছে গেছি। তো how everything is going on your side and how is Mumbai right now?
I think, yeah, like you correctly said, last year, you know, I was not so tired and anxious about the situation. When the lockdown was happening for I was doing various kind of activities, film festivals, cooking, this, that, putting up videos, keeping up this whole, let's be positive. And but this year, with constant stories of people one knows, friends, their parents, people around, so much of death, so much of suffering, that you don't feel that same energy to push yourself and say that, oh, let's be positive. That feels very like a joke to tell people that when ato ye. And Bombay I mean, started off very bad actually. This time when it started off, it was initially nearly 15,000 cases per day. এখন, of course, it's come down to I think 1,500 or something like that. But at the same time, one is constantly, লাস্ট টাইম যেরকম মনে হচ্ছিল ঠিক আছে শেষ হয়ে যাচ্ছে, এখন ভ্যাকসিন আসছে, এখন তো ভ্যাকসিন এসেছে, বাট স্টিল দের ইজ নো ভ্যাকসিন সাডেনলি, not enough for people. And you hear of the third wave coming, and there is this constant reference that this time it's going to also affect the children, which is the biggest worry. And I feel that all of us this time cannot let our guards down like we did last time. এক বছর পরে আগের যেরকম সবাই you know forgot that there is COVID around. I think people need to be really, really alert because this is a question of our children.
So, Onir, keeping everything in mind, being a responsible film personality, how I really want to know, because you also know that the same condition is happening in Bengal also. Bengali people just suffering a lot, and rather the entire film fraternity is suffering. So, if I ask you in this particular situation as a responsible film personality, how you are seeing the future of the film, I mean, how things will move on in the coming days? You could share something.
See, I think the best way to look at it is to not see us as something special than anybody else. আজকে যদি আমি, like, if I walk down the street and I see all the shops apart from essential shut, right? তাদের জীবনী কি করে চলছে? Right from like daily workers, সবকিছু তো বন্ধ, and especially in a city like Bombay, যারা এখানে belong করে না, to be able to, I know so many people যে সবাই ফেরত চলে গেছে, কেন কি, how will they pay month after month of such high rents when there is no income? And I think the film fraternity, when we look at ourselves, if we see us in this bigger scenario, one feels that, if I look at the daily workers, the lightmen, the spot boys, whole lot of other people who are technicians, camera attendants, তাদের তো লাইভলিহুডটা টোটালি চলে গেছে, কোথার থেকে সাপোর্ট সিস্টেম পাচ্ছে, right? So I think we are all in the same boat. We are just all waiting that hopefully with everyone getting vaccinated, like এখন যেরকম hope is when you look at US, যে এখন সবাইকে বলেছে ঠিক আছে বাইরে you can go without mask. But having said that, it is also a trial period, কেউ জানে না কি হবে, because it's such a new disease. You never know what happens. But I think that is the only hope, that once vaccination happens, we will be able to get back to work. But I think it's also very important that all of us, যেটা আমাদের fashionably সবাই বলে কি, ও the world will be a new world, যে আকাশটা আরো ব্লু হয়ে গেছে, কত environment সবাই খুব বলে this is the way environment is striking back. কিন্তু আগের বছর যখনই the minute it became a little better, অতগুলোই সবাই গাড়িতে ফেরত চলে গেল, ধোঁয়াও হচ্ছে, পলিউশনও হচ্ছে, এত use of plastic, you know everything that even the government is doing is anti-environment. So there is no way that we as human beings are doing anything to change our lifestyle to protect us from this kind of onslaught from nature, from whatever is happening. So I feel that unfortunately as human beings আমরা কিছু শিখছি না এত কিছুতে। সবাই বললো প্যান্ডেমিকে হয়তো আমাদের মধ্যে যে যে হেট্রেড, ভেদভাদ, we will have empathy, we will start loving. And when I read the news every day I said shit, human beings are the worst. এইরকম সিচুয়েশনেও হিন্দু, মুসলিম, দলিত এই নিয়েই পড়ে রয়েছে, ইউনো। সো আই ফিল ওইসব জিনিসগুলো দেখে মনে হয় কি we really have very little hope. Human beings don't deserve, because of how small our thinking is.
And only what I believe that many people, because you know that I was also associated with many people, and those people all the time keep on talking like the kind of situation we are facing right now. The main reason behind it, like we exploited the nature, we
Yeah,
exploited the animals, we exploited the plants as per our own wish, and we didn't value also. Now nature is dancing on our head. There is a pandemic, there is cyclone, there is a different kind of things are going on. But one surprising thing is that after happening so much incidents, people are still not serious, because
they're
when in
not
Kolkata,
serious. We are not. One of the main problems of this country is also overpopulation, right? কেউ কিছু ভাবছেই না। I mean, এই নেচার কতটা ভার নেবে এত লোকের,
you won't believe that in Kolkata, lockdown was announced. So I was just coming towards my home, and I just found all the liquor shops are overloaded with the people. Means people are not understanding like this 15 days or 30 days lockdown is not happening just for there is some festivities going on. People are just trying to grab all the alcohol so that they will spend their time properly. But this is
yeah,
such a sad.
yeah. No, I don't
Uh,
think there's very little hope for human beings. কেন এত কিছু হচ্ছে তাও কিছু শিক্ষা হচ্ছে না, তাও লাভ
anyway,
জিহাদ নিয়ে ব্যস্ত।
absolutely, absolutely. So, Onir, as you know, like the talk Bok Shubho is talks about the journey. So, in this chat, I want to revisit your journey, because as a uh, person, also as I like you a lot, and as I know you for a longer time, I really have different kind of questions that might be asked you several time also. But when I got the opportunity, I will surely ask you. First and foremost, what I got to know about you, like your childhood, most of the time you have spent in Bhutan, right? So if you share some memories about
Yeah,
Bhutan, how was Bhutan and everything?
I think that is one thing I keep এখন যখন আমি when I travel a lot and I go to places like Kashmir and all, I always tell people that you should learn from Bhutan how to take care of nature, how to take care of tradition, language, at the same time embracing modernity. Like in Bhutan, like be it the national costume, the architecture, everything is maintained. At the same time, they are moving ahead and embracing. Suppose they have also decriminalized homosexuality, right? So it's not a nation that is stuck in time, saying that it's a tradition, it's a ওরকম না। And I feel extremely fortunate কি যে আমার ছোটবেলা I was in a place যেখানে television ছিল না, where I could spend more time reading, fishing, trekking, doing a lot of outdoor sports than on your video games and television and WhatsApp and TikTok. I feel very, very fortunate that my life was not that. And আমার ইনিশিয়ালি খুব ভয় লেগেছিল যখন প্রথম ইন্ডিয়াতে কলকাতাতে পড়তে এসেছিলাম, যে ও মাই গড আই এম ফ্রম দিস স্মল ইউনো জঙ্গল থেকে আসছি বড় শহরে, এখানে এসে কি হবে। And then I realized that you know what you are, is the education and upbringing that you have. It is not the place, you know because কলকাতায় এসে আমার প্রথম সবচেয়ে বড় শখ কি হয়েছিল বলতো, কি আমি আর আমার দিদি এসেছিলাম, ইউনো আর রাস্তাঘাটে ততদিন আই হ্যাড দিস হোল ইমেজ অফ কলকাতা কি city of culture, da da da, অনেক কিছু। আর ইন ভুটান আমরা যে ছোটবেলা থেকে বড় হয়েছি, ছেলেরা মেয়েরা সব একসঙ্গে, কোয়েড এডুকেশনে, অ্যাজ ফ্রেন্ডস, had never heard of eve teasing, এসব ছিলই না। কলকাতাতে আই রিমেম্বার গড়িয়ার দিয়ে রাস্তা দিয়ে যাচ্ছি দিদির সঙ্গে, someone trying to touch, someone trying to comment, and I used to feel so angry and helpless, and I thought that এ এত বড় কালচারের সিটিতে এলাম, is this it? And then I realized that that is the point. I realized that it's not about the size of a city and all the history. It's about how each of us have accepted our upbringing, what kind of education we have had, and the values we are taught. একদিকে দুর্গা পূজা হচ্ছে, দিদি দিদি সবাইকে বলা হচ্ছে, আর একদিকে you can't respect women in real life, and that was not a that was not a good thing. Having said that, for me, the most precious thing about Kolkata for me was Jadavpur University. I feel that what I am as a filmmaker and artist is a lot because of my professors, Shubhadi or Shibajida from Jadavpur University. I will always be grateful them for having being my mentors and guide. I just love them.
So, from that particular discussion, I just really want to know, because just quite some days back, we just uh, celebrated the 100 year of Satyajit Ray,
Yeah.
and we all know how Mr. Ray has connected with you. So, if you just share those stories with our viewers, that what was the film which was first makes you move that you want to make a film,
Yeah.
and
So
the and some other things.
সেটা আমি যখন ভুটানে তখন ক্লাস 10-এ বোধহয় পড়তাম, আমার মনে নেই এক্স্যাক্টলি। তো কলকাতাতে আমরা উইন্টার ভ্যাকেশনের ছুটিতে এসেছিলাম। আর কলকাতাতে তখন বালিগঞ্জ ফাঁড়িতে there used to be this place called ice skating ring, where there used to be real ice skating, which I don't know why it stopped earlier in Calcutta. In winters, that place used to have ice and people used to do ice skating. And there was a film festival there, and that is when my sister, who was studying at Lady Brabourne and interested in films, took me to watch Charulata by Satyajit Ray. You know, and I was just blown. You know, uh, Before that, I had seen Pather Pachali. Kintu, honestly, like in Bhutan, no, as children, when we had seen Pather Pachali, we were very embarrassed. Oh my God. Our Bhutanese friends would tease us that, look at you Indians, you're so poor, khete pacho nahi. And we used to feel very embarrassed that why are they showing this film. It's only later that one connected at an older age. At that young age, we were very embarrassed. Uh, and But when I saw Charulata, what struck me, is that, my God, this person, and I mean, পরে যাদবপুর ইউনিভার্সিটিতে যখন when I was studying, I also met Satyajit Ray. We had gone to his house to invite him, and for me, I will always remember him lying on his this chair, এরকম পুরোনো ওই যে লম্বা পাহলা, এরকম করে ছিল। And he was so kind to us. আমরা তিনজন গেছিলাম ইনভাইট করতে কম্পারেটিভ লিটারেচার ডিপার্টমেন্টের একটা ইভেন্টে। And Unar শরীরটা খুব একটা, he was not so well, so he couldn't meet, but he wrote a beautiful letter for us, and he was so kind, and all of us were literally shaking. For me, that is God for me, not any other God. you know যে একটা মানুষ, he is writing stories, he's making, he's sketching, he's making music, he's drawing every bit of art decoration. What a what kind of diverse, everything in one. When you look at a filmmaker like that, you feel ashamed to call yourself a filmmaker. Look at how did they do it. It's just magic. So gifted. So I feel extremely fortunate to, and I feel that magic I could feel যখন আমি চারুলতা দেখেছিলাম, and it made me want to be a part of cinema.
Onir, if you want to share your favorite Satyajit Ray's films, so what are the three films you will suggest viewers to watch?
Oh God, so difficult. Uh, Actor film which is not actually very popular with a lot of people, but I love it, is Shima Bodho.
Okay.
You know, yeah, I don't know, somehow I always, I think maybe because I was head over heels in love with, I think, Madhavi. She is just so beautiful. Like the grace and everything about her. But I also, I think I love, honestly speaking, Orange Dimratri. I think I really really love that film. And later when I revisited a film that really really would always make me cry is Potter Pachali because of the brother sister relationship. You know, it just, for me, my sister is so special. And, Akono, like, whenever I travel to rural Bengal, I think of Potter Pachali, be it the Kash food, be it everything. It seems almost unchanged in many ways, Bengal, rural Bengal.
Only that particular point, I also have another query. Like, as far as I know, that you didn't completed your entire education and you suddenly moved to Germany. Why? You just share.
Actually, I got my scholarship for filmmaking 7 days before my post graduation exam. তো আমি তখন ভাবলাম কি, what will I do with the degree? আমি তো প্রফেসর টফেসর কিছু হওয়ার, by then I had decided no, this is my dream. Of course বাবা মা খুব দুঃখ পেয়েছিল কি 7 দিনের জন্য পোস্ট গ্রাজুয়েট হয়ে যেতাম. I thought that what was important for me is the education. সেটা তো হয়েছে, খালি ডিগ্রিটা পাবো না. So that's when I decided that I will sacrifice my degree, because that is not sacrificing my education, and go for something that's always been my dream, to go and learn filmmaking.
From that particular point of view, I can understand like this is the reason might be in every juncture of your life you did the same. You leave many things because you are very sorted, like what you want from your life. Okay. So after doing the filmmaking, you came back to India, right?
Yeah.
And then only how my brother's Nikhil happened.
See, I always wanted to be a director. I
Okay.
learned editing because I knew হঠাৎ করে বোম্বেতে এলে কেউ আমাকে ছবি বানাতে দেবে না. So better to be the head of a department. I didn't want to assist. Maybe I'm too egoistic and vain, but that's the way I am. I always wanted to be head of some department. So that's when I learned editing. And actually, honestly, প্রথম আমার খুব ইচ্ছে ছিল কলকাতাতেই কাজ করব. So when I came back from Germany, initially I also made my first independent documentary in Calcutta, called Falling Hero. It was based on a very famous painter from Kolkata, Bijon Chaudhary. তখন খুব ফেমাস ছিলেন. ওনার একটা সিরিজ অফ পেন্টিং ছিল called The Fallen Heroes. And me with my seniors from Jadavpur University, Moloida, Chitrodya, and Orubda. I remember they really helped me. And I mean, whatever money I had saved from my scholarship, I used to make this my first documentary. But then in Calcutta, what happened is, at that point, trying to sell my documentary at Doordarshan, everything was difficult. There was always too much of lobbying everywhere. And also, everyone is, acha, you've come from Germany, you think you know everything. So everyone was always being very, ওই একটা ঠেস দিয়ে কথা বলা কি, I, our দাদাগিরি, because I was very young and I used to look even younger. তো সবাই দাদাগিরি constantly করতো. And I just felt after a point that this is, I can't be sitting and just being, constantly put down. And তখন আমি একটা এডিটিং এর কাজ পেয়ে গেলাম বোম্বেতে, for 3,000 rupees a month, which was very less at that point actually for Bombay. But I took it up and shifted to Bombay. And honestly, the most beautiful thing about Bombay is nobody cares who you are, where you come from, what you look like. Okay, they only see the work you do. And for 10 years, I've worked as an editor, as an art director, as writer, music producer, various departments, but with the clear thing that everything I learn will go into my filmmaking, and then, I will make my film.
So, how difficult was that particular time to start a new film? How was the entire journey? How you get the producer and how you started that film? Is it a very easy process or is it a very uh,
See, I
long?
knew it would not be easy. Okay, so by like I came to Bombay in '93 and sometime 93 and 2000. By then I thought that okay, I've worked enough and I will, that's when I worked in my first film with Kalpana Lajmi called Daman. Okay, so I edited the film and I also worked as a song director. তো ওইখানে আমার রবিনা টন্ডন আর সঞ্জয় সুরির সঙ্গে ফার্স্ট মেট, and I knew that it is important to have your actors to get finance. And it was during the shoot that both Ravina and Sanjay, they majorly say encouraged me that listen, you are so good, why aren't you writing your own story? So I thought, okay, now enough of, yeah, I will stop working for a year, I'll write my script and make my film. And that's when I realized that I had saved for a year, but a year you was not enough, because unfortunately the stories I was writing at that point, the first story I wrote was actually Shub, which happened in 2017. So you can imagine at in 2000 when I was writing Shub, how shocked people were, because it's quite, for that point it was quite a, bold story. So I kept writing similarly scripts, and it kept getting rejected, and 1 year became 3 years. And finally, when I wrote My Brother Nikhil, which was my fifth script, Sanjay by then had got so tired of us approaching various producers, say that listen, let's just do it ourselves. Let's, ask for friends, family, everybody to help, and let's make our film. And that's how My Brother Nikhil happened.
So there is a story like Onir and Sanjay Suri has a very special relation. So would you like to talk about that?
I think, it's a cliche to say that he's like my brother and all that. No, I mean, he is for me family. He and his entire family is my family, and sometimes, he's even sometimes more than family at times. Okay, and I feel that we kind of share this bond because not only do we share the same kind of vision for cinema, but I think as human beings we're very similar values in terms of relationships, in terms of humanity, religion, various things. And I think what also binds us is that Sanjay is uh, uh, someone who is from Kashmir, which is a part of Himalayas, and had to leave because of political situations. So in a way, a migrant or refugee, however you call it. And for me, home is Bhutan, which we also had to leave because of certain not very pleasant reasons. And I feel that somehow the mountains, having grown up in the mountains, being in a way homeless also ties up. That, I mean, we both love nature and the mountains, and all those things, I think, kind of contribute to what kind of people we are. And when we work together, what's very important is all business decisions he makes and all creative decisions, so there is no overlap of, as a filmmaker, just because he's my producer or actor, nothing in the direction is he ever interferes or steps in. Similarly, I know that he has a much better sense than me in terms of distribution, budgeting, production, marketing, and I let him make all the calls.
So, Onir, another thing, what I really want to know, because from the time I know you, rather knowing you as a person, but just as a film buff also, I know you for a longer time, and what I noticed that you are a person who is very vocal about your orientation. Okay, and you are vocal from that point of time, that time when people have no idea about it, rather have an idea also, they feel shame to discuss about it. Okay, so how the courage has come from you, and from where you got that courage?
It's very funny that you're asking this because honestly, I don't actually remember. Recently, I'm like writing my biography for Penguin, which is going to be published later this year. And I was writing about my journey, and at one point, Preetham, who music director Preetham, he also started his career with me. So I was telling him that, do you remember in the 90s, I used to go at that time in Bombay. There was this one gay nightclub called Voodoo's. So every Friday's night and Saturday night, there was this group of three, four of us. We used to go there, and I don't remember because that's the time I was friends with Preetham, Amitabh, whole lot of the FTII gang. So I was telling him that at that time, did I really tell you all this? So he says, Onir, but even then you used to tell us everything in details. So actually I had forgotten, but even right in my beginning days, I was always open with all my friends. I think primary reason is I feel that if someone does not accept me the way I am, then they're not worth my friendship. The loss is theirs, you know. And I think courage, maybe it comes from my family. My father has been a very, very strong political activist once upon a time. He was in prison in Dhaka for about 7 years for Bhasha Andolon, you know. So maybe, that whole thing of if something is right, you stand up for it, you know. That's been just there without them ever lecturing us. Actually, konodin bole uni. And that also came from the fact that my entire family, there was never a discussion about my orientation. They just accepted me. So, for me, it just comes naturally to not hide, not be ashamed, not. I always feel, the other day I was trying to explain to, right now I'm making this film called We Are, okay, where it's a celebration of queer rights, queer love stories, and there is this gay love story where there will be a lot of intimate scenes. And I realize that whenever I'm talking to actors, male actors, the first thing is, oh my god, kissing, intimacy. And I think that as a queer person, and I don't think it's only me, most of us, if anyone would tell us, for suppose if I was an actor, if someone would tell me that, oh, you need to kiss an actress, I would not think twice about it. And I feel that a lot of gay men and are extremely intimate, physical with a lot of women. No one feels threatened. And I don't understand why straight men are always so threatened, you know, because you're not anyway supposed to be enjoying it. It is just an act. And I feel that, is it that we are superior? That one, no one taught me, I didn't have to go for inclusive seminars, nothing to accept the straight people and their life. I just accepted. But now I go around the country doing inclusive seminars, talking about inclusion, diversity, teaching them that, acha, we are also human beings and you have to be taught to accept that. And, similarly, I feel even this, that why is it such an issue? It is such a small thing. You will happily in a film rape a woman if need be. You know, if you're the villain, you will do all kinds of, you'll do molesting, teasing, stalking. Even if you're the hero, you'll do all that. Then you're not worried about your image. But if you have to do a kiss with a male actor in a film which is showing their love, you're like, oh my god, you know. So I just find it amusing and it just makes me feel superior.
And I really appreciate that fact because this should be the way to live the life. Because I also follow you on social media, and when I was following your latest series on the roads with Onir, it was wonderful, and the way you
Thank you.
show our Kumotuli in Kolkata, I could just fall in love with Kumotuli once again, and I just want to revisit the place once again. Rather, I just want to revisit the place of in Kashmir, that palace that Dara has made
Yeah,
it, and that
Parmahel.
yes. So it was just wonderful. So how this concept has come? Because all the time, what I got to see about you that you did a series, you did a documentary on the videos of Brindavan. I was one of the person who is very lucky to be a part of that particular project for some time. But what actually attracts me all the time something innovative is going on your mind. So how these things is coming?
Actually, I just realized that, for years and years, I've been traveling a lot, and everyone tells, oh, so it's a funny mix. People say that, oh, Instagram mein video karo, eta karo, eta karo. And I just can't do anything that, I can't do a TikTok video, right? I can't do all those typical, yeah. And I thought that I travel so much. I travel a lot, yeah. Why not share in a personalized way what I feel about the places I go? It is just sharing and memories also, because these days, when you click photos, there are just so many photos, but these videos have all those images easier to
Correct.
revisit for me also, and
Absolutely.
easier for me to share it as my journey. And initially I was just doing it like a acha chalo kuri, but now I've started really enjoying it, and whenever I travel it becomes subconsciously a part of my agenda, that okay, even if I'm shooting somewhere kaje gechi, I see what is special about the place, what food is there, what architecture is there, natural beauty, or is there a special artist here. So it can be anything, it can be an artist, it can be music, it can be pottery, or various things. Just, I feel like sharing my life's experience with people who care to listen.
Absolutely. Uh, On it, I think there is some little bit of network glitch. So your video or video is not that I mean the visual is not working. Can you check one?
Act second. Let me try. Let me try and see if I can change the port. 1 second.
Yes. So I think right now it's completely fine. Onir, are you there?
Yeah, is this better?
Yes, yes, yes. It's better now. So
Yeah.
we are discussing about the thing like how this concept's coming to you because uh, that series what I am just following because I keep as you know that I keep on following all kind of work whatever you are doing. So I think till now it's about 50. So how many episode you are planning for this particular series? Is there any?
As long as I, as long as till I'm traveling and I'm not bored. Nothing, no, no. It's just like, okay, I keep doing it.
Okay, apart from that, I just would you share with my viewer that this VR, you just talked about VR. Okay,
Yeah.
so can you tell me how, why the film, this is your next film, and why the film name is VR?
In 2011, I made a film called I Am, which was a celebration of identity and various issues. And 2018 was the Supreme Court verdict on 377, and I thought that being an out and proud filmmaker, I should do something to celebrate that. And since this year will be 10 years of I Am, I said, let me do this as a sequel to I Am, as a concept of identity. But this time, all the stories are about the queer community, love, happy stories. At the same time, while we are celebrating, also putting forth that we still fighting for our civil rights. So I thought we are is to tell them that, listen, look, here we are, this is our stories, the way we want to tell. Very often the stories of the queer community that you see on, be it OTT platform, be it cinema, is what the heteronormative world is comfortable watching. This is the way we want to tell our story you know
That
so
that's That's really wonderful, and I wish all the best because I am very much excited, and I believe that all the viewers of Talk Bok Shubho will also looking forward to watch your film. But apart
thank
from
you.
that, yes, yes, and apart from that, also I also got to know there is another film you are planning with on Riyadh Wadia's
Yeah,
biopic,
biopic.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
We can see that film also.
That is actually at a very early stage right now. Yeah. I have just got the spoken to Riyadh's family. So Riyadh Wadia was the first out and proud gay filmmaker from India. He had made this film called Bomb Gaze in 1997. You know,
Okay.
and I remember him because, like I was telling you about this place Voodoo's, where we used to go, nightclub, and he used to be there, and he was this flamboyant star. When he used to walk in, all of us used to just look at him. He was so beautiful, and very much like the way he used to dress, everything was flamboyant. And then, unfortunately, in 2003, he died of AIDS. And when my brother Nikhil released, his mother and brother had come for the screening, and they later invited me for lunch, and they said that, I wish Riyadh was alive and he would have seen this film, and I would have told him, make a film like this that I can watch without getting embarrassed. Look at how beautiful Onir has made the film. So it was a big honor for me that Roy and Nargis thought that if anyone should make a film about their son, it should be me. And I am looking forward to developing the script that would be after VR. Parallelly, I want to start the process so that after VR, I want to shoot that film. There are two biopics actually I'm working on that, and there is this writer called Raga De Silva. She is a lesbian writer who was married with two children when she realized her orientation. So I have taken the life rights of her book also, and that script is being developed as a romantic comedy. And yeah, so I think there's a lot of pride material that's going to come out of my kitty in the next 2 years.
And I think there is one documentary also you are planning with one Italian.
I've already started shooting. Actually, I'm shooting a documentary on Indo-Italian contemporary art. I was shooting in Kashmir, at the Kutch Desert, Baroda, Ahmedabad. Then we went to Sundarban, Kolkata, Shantiniketan, Vishnupur. Unfortunately, after that, we were supposed to go to Kochi, Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi, and Spiti Valley, which we couldn't because of the COVID. but hopefully next month we will resume shooting that.
Yes, sir. We all wish you all the best on behalf of Talk Bok Shubho viewers, so that we can able to see your creation soon. Because yeah, you just because I still remember the last feature film, Kuch Bhigi Alfaz. Kuch Bhigi Alfaz was such a close to heart film for me and for many people in my friend circle, in my industry circle, whoever has watched the film, the kind of storytelling you did, it was just wonderful. So we are actually looking from you that kind of stories also.
Thank you.
Only now, being a Bengali, I wouldn't ask you this
uh,
question on possible. Like you said in the interview also, you want to start your career in Bengali film, but destiny took to you in Mumbai. You did
yeah,
many Mumbai films, but when Kolkata will see you make a Bengali film.
দেখো আমি তো তাই জন্য আমাকে কলকাতা দিচ্ছে না সুযোগ, otherwise why do it? I've been Kuchbihar first, I shot in Calcutta. I shot in Calcutta. We are also, I'll be shooting in Calcutta. But unfortunately, Bengali films are, maybe it's because that Atodin Bombay that I'm in Bombay for so long, that the connection with the Bengal, I don't really know too many. I know people, but I don't know the producers and distributors, the money bags. So our it is kind of easier for me because in Bombay, come what may, I have over the years created my space, and it's easier. There it's unfamiliar territory that way, and you all have so many wonderful filmmakers already, making such wonderful films. I think Bengali cinema, there's so much, there's so many beautiful films. I love some of the films that's happening, but yeah, the desire is still there, primarily because of Ma. She keeps saying, একটা বাংলা ছবি বানা, একটা বাংলা ছবি বানা, অর্পিতাকে নিয়ে বানা. Her favorite is Orpita, so my mother is like, okay, niye bana.
And on it, being a new generation, one of the producer, my desire to work with you soon. So just hope he everyone's desire to should get a direction, and we will able to make a Bengali film together.
Lovely, inshallah.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing on it, today is the time of web series. So when we can see you some interesting series you are making.
Actually, I was working on two web series which were set in Kashmir, which were with two platforms, but unfortunately 370 happened, both got shared. So it was been unfortunate, but right now I'm just starting work for another platform on the scripting of another web series. You'll hear the announcement soon, which is also set in Kashmir. I think I have some connection. I keep going back there, and hopefully by another 3-4 months we should start the pre-production. But it's based on a book, and I'm very very excited about it.
So my next question from you is: you work with the stars, you work with the new talent. Okay. So when you work with the stars and at the same time work with the new talents, what exactly aspire you or make you think like in this particular project you will take a newcomer, or in this particular project you will take a popular star? Because we all know like when in a film one popular actor is there, then the film sellable aspect rises well. But I can see that you made many films where you take that challenge, you take that risk, you launch many new places. So
I
what
feel that it is, yeah, I feel that it is to do with what suits the script, and sometimes, like for me, like when I was doing Kuch Bhi Khel Fast, fortunately, I had the support of the producers also. Of course, Shab was my own decision, to work with. But similarly, when I'm doing VR, I think I'll be working with at least, like, for example, one of the stories is the story of a trans woman, and I will be working. I have already shortlisted, and I will be working with a trans woman So, and she's not really someone who is experienced in yeah, but I will be having workshops with her because I think it's more important to cast a real trans woman than having someone dress as one. So I will go through the process, and that's a challenge. I like challenges. Similarly, for my first story, which is set in Kashmir, I needed to cast someone from Kashmir who speaks Kashmiri. Not someone who just looks Kashmiri but speaks Kashmiri, because I was, and of a certain age. So realized that again it had to be someone new, you know. So I'm working with actually two, one very relatively new Malayali actor and a Kashmiri actor, again new. But the rest of the cast, there are some very well known actors who are already on the project. So it's a mix depending on the age group, what is needed, what is appropriate. Like the trans film also has a very important Sardar character, and everyone is, the minute I announced, they're like, "Ha, I can wear a pagdi." I said, "No, I want a real Sardar, that when you take off the pagdi, your hair is not extension but the real, so I want to cast authentic, and for that, if necessary, I'll be casting people who are uh, relatively new.
That's wonderful. We are discussing about your films, about your future plans, about your overview on life, everything. But I also want to share with my viewers, like, you are a poet also. So would you like
Hardly.
to read
No,
my
I'm not a poet.
one
I,
small poetry?
I don't think I'm a poet. I just, sometimes I just write. Recently there was this publisher who says, "Onir, we want to publish." I'm like, "No ways," because I don't think I'm a poet. I just sometimes write things which
Yes, yes.
some
That
people
I know.
like.
Yes.
But I think what a lot of people find also special is there are not too many people who write queer poetry. My poetry is mostly love poetry about love, and it is queer poetry. It's very definitely the image of a man, talking about his main lover. So yeah, that. But I'm
So
not reading. I am very terrible with all that.
okay, okay. Then I will ask another question, that is about your Twitter account status. There is one status that no DM, no message. Why that particular status?
It's not no DM. I say that it's my status everywhere says don't send me, and that's why actually now I have deleted my WhatsApp also. This messages on Insta, Facebook, everywhere saying, "What's up? Did you have breakfast? What's next?" আচ্ছা আমি খেয়েছি না খেয়েছি তোমার কি যায় আসে? What does it matter to anybody if I every morning to if I have to reply to everyone's WhatsApp? It's none of your business. You're not my closest friend. I've never met you in my life, but you will be messaging WhatsApp. Did you have breakfast? Did you have dinner? And I get irritated because as a person, I like to reply to people, but ask me definite questions. Some things which is sensible, not just I don't have so much of time. Like, usually I keep some time available every day because I think I was a newcomer once and it was not easy to reach out to people. So I want to be accessible, but not to talk rubbish. I don't have the patience for it. And there are ridiculous people who will ask things like, "So are you a director? Arey yaar, just read. Why did you send me a friend's message? Can't you read on my profile? Everything is written clearly. How more clear can one be? Filmmaker, producer, writer, gay, atheist, everything about my life is written, and still people will ask. And for me the biggest joke is someone who wants to be a part of the industry, an actor or a writer will ask, "So are you a director?" And I'm like, after that your next question is going to be, "Can I get work with you?" Why will I ever give you any work if you have not made this much little effort before messaging me to Google, see my work, find my work. You know, so I find it ridiculous that so many young people they will say that, oh, I'm a big fan of yours. So I'll ask why. Okay. Let's say, no, I love your work and I want to work with you. I said, what work you love? I've seen the trailer of your film. So they are so dumb that they don't realize by that the whole thing, that the fact that they've misused my time, that I reply to them, after that they'll only get blocked.
So, from that particular answer, I just want to know from you on it, like there are many new talent who are actually aspiring or who actually wants to make career in this entertainment industry or in the other field also. And being an experienced professional, if you want to share any guidance towards those people, what should be your lines for them?
See, I feel again for different things that are different. Like suppose someone wants to be a filmmaker. I feel today, instead of always, the line that I hate the most is that I come from a middle class family and I have no support. Hello, I don't come from some, industrialist family, but I never went begging to people. I proved myself. And I'm like, you have to prove yourself, work hard. They'll say, oh, there's no support from family. When I was in Jadavpur University, I used to go 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning, house to house market survey, door to door. There used to be doors I knocked, dum, they used to close. But I did it because I wanted extra money to buy books, to learn German or Russian. In the evenings after college, I used to take tuitions of kids so it wasn't that, you know I made sure that I didn't ask my parents for that extra money because I knew they couldn't have. In India we just expect that everything parents will do, বাড়িও কিনে দেবে, বিয়েও দেবে, গাড়িও দেবে, আর আমরা বসে বসে খালি বাবা মা, আর পরে বাবা মাকে বাড়ি থেকে ধাক্কা মেরে বেরো করে দেবে। So this is the attitude which does not work. So I feel that if you're a filmmaker, if you want to be a filmmaker, what is, when people say how will I become a filmmaker, I mean today it's, I mean, how do you become a doctor? You go and learn your craft, you know then they'll say, no, can't we just assist? Now if I'm a filmmaker and I have the choice that every year there are so many students coming out of film institutes after spending 3 years, a lot of money, is it not my duty to employ them than someone who just says, oh, I'm passionate? So I usually tell them, if you're in your family, if someone is sick, will you take your patient to someone who wants to be a doctor, is passionate about being a doctor, or will you take that person to a real doctor? Filmmaking is an expensive thing, and every part of your crew. They'll say, oh, I can be a spot boy. Even spot boys' work is precious. They know their job. Don't look down upon it, you know. And I feel that that is important. And today, with your mobile, if you have a good story, you can do it with anything, and that can travel to film festivals, and a good one will always make a mark. Like, for example, I will give you an example. My associate who used to be working with me, Amar, you know, uh, he in 2017 I think made this film called a documentary called Abba, which was set in Arunachal Pradesh in that language, okay, with local artists. That film won the national award, got the best film in Berlin, traveled over hundreds of film festivals. The year after that he made three, okay, but he assisted for 12 years before that. So there's a journey, there's a learning, there's a passion, so I feel that you need to identify. Similarly for actors, I feel that you will not work on your language, you will not watch good films, you will always have an excuse for not doing something. They'll say that, acha, I don't know what to. Are just Google. if you can't afford to go for film institutes, okay, there is so much you can still learn on your own. Watch good films, work on your language, read the news. Half of them never see the news, and then they'll pretend as if they don't have the time, but they have all the time to make reel videos and TikToks and all day on the WhatsApp. So I don't feel any, I just feel that it's such a waste of fake passion. What are you passionate about? You're passionate about the glamour. Try to first be honest about what, when people tell me that I love, then if I ask them what kind of films, perhaps the last film they've seen is Tigers in the Eye. There's nothing wrong with it, but then why have you come to me? You've come to the wrong person. So you want to play cricket and you have come to a football coach. So it's as stupid as that. So it's important to identify what kind of acting do you want to be on: films, television, web series. What is your own strength? Be honest about your talent to yourself, and never tell a director that, oh, just give me one chance and I will. Hello, why? Earn that. Why should, why give you, this is not a charitable institute. Nobody did that to me. I worked and proved myself. So prove yourself through your talent. And that, when you do that, that will be a lifelong treasure that you have, that you can always fall back upon. And when you take shortcut, it keeps your life's journey short.
Thank you so much, Onir, for this insightful explanation on this, because I believe people who really want to do something in this particular industry, in entertainment or any field, one thing is constant, that there is no shortcut of success, there is no shortcut of hard work. You have to do your hard work, you have to deserve, then you will
Yeah.
get your
No,
destination.
also, this constant complaining that, oh, nepotism, nepotism, array, your father's business, you want to come to you. But here in the film industry, if anyone, it's their money, it's their son, if they're supporting, of course, I'm not for where someone has the talent and does not. But today, you know, when people keep complaining that no, everything is fixed, they don't see the journeys. Again, it's important to see the journeys which are inspiring. Look at Rajkumar Rao, look at Nawazuddin, look at Irfan Khan, Manoj Bajpayee, you know uh, Anand Gandhi. There are so many inspiring, Radhika Apte, Swara you name it. There are male, female actors who are not from the industry, and today in the OTT platforms, in cinema, they're being loved, they're being celebrated. But their journey was not easy. They went, they did training, they took years. So why are you feeling so entitled ki তুমি আসবে আর immediately launch হয়ে যাবে? you know
Right. So, Oni, we are almost about towards ending the chat. But before ending the chat, I have some very small questions, and I need a crisp answer from you. Any new director in today's time uh, whose work actually makes you feel like, yes, he has that, and he's doing actually good, or he can do much better in the future time. Any director in your fraternity you want to take a name?
Oh, that's so difficult because there are so many lovely filmmakers making, beautiful films. Uh, like, for example, I love, for me, one of the inspirations I find, and I keep telling everybody, is Rima Das. This woman came to Bombay to be an actor. 15 years later, she says, fuck it, let me learn about filmmaking properly. Bought a camera, learned on YouTube everything, watched, Iranian cinema, East European cinema, learned the language, made her first film within 5 lakh rupees, where she produced, directed, did the camera, trained the actors. With a crew of 6 people, shot it in Assam. Village Rockstar was India's entry to Oscars. So for me, I celebrate people like Rima Das. I love her, admire her journey. And she, when I met her, she told me, and me and Sriram, we were together at an event, and she comes and tells her, she says, both of you, I'm going to make you act in my film. I said, why? She says, I had approached both of you as an actor, but both of you all refused. So both of us, Sriram and me, told her that you should thank us. Now look at you, what a celebrated filmmaker you are. So you should thank us for having. She says, no, but someday I'm going to make both of you act.
Any recent film which you like the most?
Actually, recent film that I really loved watching was on Amazon. There's this film called The Great Indian Kitchen, and I think every Bengali boy should watch it because they will at least feel ashamed after that. Ki ma jalta dao. This whole thing of not getting up and doing anything at home. And I was telling the same thing to my friends in Kashmir that during this rosa, they have to wake up early, 4 o'clock to eat. But their mothers wake up 2 more hours before that, where they have to prepare all the food for the men folk to eat. Of course, there are exceptions where men help. Mostly they don't. Okay. Now, after eating, all the men go off to sleep, right? But the women have to prepare for the evening, when the fast is going to be broken. So, and imagine cooking and smelling all the food and not eating is much more difficult than all these men who are mostly resting. So everyone should watch The Great Indian Kitchen. I think it is a very important film to show how granted men take women in India.
Any three things which you actually discovered during this lockdown for yourself?
Three things I discovered about myself. Oh my God. You know, there was, honestly speaking, there was nothing I discovered about myself. I just spent time on things that I didn't have time for before. Like, for example, I started giving more time and trying to learn Hindustani classical music. So it's not that I didn't know that I desire, I didn't have the time. Similarly, I spend more time learning the guitar. And the third thing I did a lot during this workout is workout, because I thought I have to keep. I started. Yes, I think what is was the biggest achievement for me is I have this driving phobia. I had an accident in 2000. After that, I sold my car and I never decided. I said no, I'll just take public transport. I don't want to drive. Even when I used to cycle, like I remember in college days, also in Calcutta, I used to go early morning to the lakes to cycle. And my handle would always, if I would see someone walking, somehow it would, my cycle, I would say no, 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 but it would turn there and go and hit that person. So I had a phobia for everything. But during this whole lockdown, I started cycling, and I would cycle up to 40 kilometers a day. And my goal is that by the end of this year, I will cycle up and down from Andheri to Kolaba. And next year, I want to cycle to Goa.
Oh, wonderful. That's really wonderful. Now, the last question, and the question is very obvious because on your birthday, we got the news you are going to get married. So, who is that lucky one? And when is
That
that
is
going?
that I'm also still trying to figure out. The Swayamvara will happen, and then you'll that the all the, one of the persons will get to know. Acha, it's going to be me. Till then, it's a secret.
Okay, okay. So that's really wonderful, and I think our viewers are also watching the show. So if anyone is interested, then that person can
Apply,
also be a part of the
because on
Swayamvar.
23rd of this month, that's 2 days from now, the High Court is again going to hear the petition on same-sex marriage. So I hope by the time I find the right man, this the High Court and the Supreme Court of India will have also legalized same-sex marriage. Otherwise, I have to go to Nepal or somewhere else to get the ceremony done.
No, no, no. I really hope everything will be fall in place and we will get the good news. And thank you so much, Onir, for your precious time and all the precious answers you have given. And I believe my viewers will really enjoy this chat. Before signing off the chat, I just have a request. If you share one message for Talkbox Shubho viewers.
uh, all of you, we are going through very difficult time, and I will not say get vaccinated because it will sound stupid when vaccines are not available. So whenever it is available, then make it a point without crowding. Please, please, please mask up. Please understand, because I was traveling in Kolkata, and I always had my mask on, but I could hardly see people with mask. And please understand that you might be safe, but you might endanger the life of someone you really, really love. So mask up, double mask up, stay home as much as possible. I've not stepped outside my house for the last 3 weeks, and it's very frustrating, but you could use this time to discover, just like I said, I discover new things that I never did. Maybe use this time to do things that you never did in life. It's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, but life is precious. Especially, you know, do not endanger your loved ones, because that feeling of guilt, if it happens, will not leave. So, your life is precious, your loved one's life is precious. Stay safe.
Thank you so much once again, Onir. And you also be safe. And I wish all the same wishes for your family, for your friends, and for everyone. And thank you so much, all the viewers who are watching this chat. And before signing off this chat, I'll just request to everyone, please like my official Facebook page, Animesh Ganguly Official, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, Talkbox Shubho, and to watch all the latest video and chats on your notification button. Stay safe, stay well, and good night, everyone.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Oni.
Good night. Bye.